Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Rule the Waves as Germany in the Auto-Resolve campaign that may be coming to an end this episode. It's 1921. I told you we'd only make it to around 1925. So, two things I want to start off the episode by doing. I want to first show the forum post, and then I'll get back to this. But just to give you a hint where we're going, 0.511 has dropped, and there have been some really nice quality of life changes. Well, I consider them really nice. You might probably actually only think of them as really, really minor changes, but when you're the one doing the development, everything is a big change. So first of all, just in case you haven't used the NWS forums before, it's very typical forum type stuff. Let's go down to this mod, Combat Auto Resolve, Tortuga's Battle Simulator. This is the currently updated link in case you're using 0.504. 0.511 is probably the one that'll be used for the Fleet Combat Simulator. The new instructions are as follows. Let's see how... I'm going to ask for your feedback on this. You place the combat sim and the rtw sim.ini file into the save folder within the Rule the Waves installation directory. Then you choose your settings in the ini file, and you give game equals number corresponds to the save game location. So number 2 means game 2. Straightforward, right? Maybe. Maybe this doesn't make sense yet, but basically that's what I'm going to try to ask for. What things did you not understand the first time in the instructions, but you understood when I did it myself? So you create the battle, you save, whatever, you load it. Everything else is fine. So I changed it up a little bit. I'll just minimize that for now. Instead of dropping the Rule the Wave sim into the actual folder itself, you'll see that 4, which is the one we were using, I'm now going to delete this. This is where I deleted the log files already. We'll just delete that. Now, what was happening is you would drop this simulator into the directory, and it would automatically know it would automatically detect based on the game folder structure of the directory, which file it should be loading. Now it no longer does that. This is all controlled by, this is the ini file. So you can see that there's different, it's just a settings file. The stuff is going to be loaded by the simulator. This gives you, instead of me hard coding what the retreating number is, you as the user get to dictate the rules of the game, the rules of the simulator at least. So you can choose how quickly an enemy fleet will, not enemy fleet, either of the two fleets, they'll both follow the same rule set. You can determine at what point the total fleet health should the whole fleet retreat. Let's say 60%. So when all the HP averaged over the tonnage of the entire fleet gets to 60% or lower, they're going to retreat. Flee if smaller, this is basically just the courage. So if the starting fleet, one fleet is twice as big as the other one, then the smaller one will just flee immediately. And if I set this to 45, now if they're exactly twice larger, they won't retreat right away. They have to be, 2.2 times bigger. Whatever 1 divided by 0.45 is. Anyway, you get the point. So you can now put these into the simulator yourself. The division health, we'll put that seems fine. And movement failure, I did show that there's a chance that enemy fleet, I keep saying enemy fleets. There's a chance that any division will not exactly move as far as it wanted to. It'll be slowed down for random reasons. This is the chance that at any given time a division that'll happen to it. Now, the top part is what I was talking about with this game equals number. If game is equal to 0, it will look for Fleet 1 and Fleet 2 files. Now, normally you'll put Fleet 1 and Fleet 2 into this directory here. I don't have a Fleet 1 and Fleet 2, not in this set. I can get them, they're in a different location, but since we're going to be doing game 4 for this, I will just do game 4, and I'll save, and I'll close my ini file. And now when I run this, which I guess I can do, it's going to generate a log from this Rule the Waves game number 4. We might as well do that. It's going to, I assume, be overwritten. So we can do this, and this is the first time I'm running it. it should say, well, you didn't see it, but barely for a second there, if you freeze frame, it should say loaded from the game file. The other alternative is loaded from fleet text files, and it'll let you know that if you open with command prompt. In fact, if you open with command prompt, you can actually run this file with the extra parameters, with the command line parameters added after the exe of either one file, which will mean it's a battle file, like a SAC, one of these SACs, or if you use two files, that it immediately supposes you're giving it the two fleet.txt files. Okay, so 5 minutes about the simulator, but I feel like it's really coming together, and this might be the final form, because there's some torpedo stuff I may want to fix. But anyway, what are we doing in this game? So sorry, if you're not interested in the simulator, maybe you shouldn't have been watching this far, but there hasn't been a whole lot of Rule the Waves material, so maybe you just want Rule the Waves. Okay, if so, I really do apologize for wasting 5 minutes of your time. Maybe I'll pin a comment or something saying, feel free to skip the first 5 minutes. It's all about the simulator. But for those of you who don't know, I think I already mentioned this, but the Rule the Waves tournament is on Saturday, this Saturday. The stream will be at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, so I think that's 9:30 p.m. GMT. And the winner, if you haven't already submitted, probably you have very little time left. I think less than 24 hours to get, by the time this video goes out, you'll have less than 24 hours to submit your fleet. But the winner of this tournament is going to get a copy of Rule the Waves 2, which is fantastic. Thanks again to William for offering that up for us. I honestly do, I will mention this in the stream, but I honestly don't think it's mainly going to be a raffle, because everyone designing all these different fleets, although Oak Tree and I did a little bit of analysis on it. Oak already submitted his final fleet, but we were looking at the simulator afterwards, and we were doing some analysis on Rule the Waves in general. No, we'll wait on that. And I believe that just this game has some, I don't know, there's a scaling issue. Let's just put it like that. Let's put it that way, and I'll talk about more what I mean come Saturday, come the actual tournament stream, because I don't want to give anyone an unfair advantage. Okay, yeah, we'll just give the British whatever. Although we should be going to war with them, but there's not a possibility for us to break this agreement. So, well, now the gun's just pouring in. Quality 0, 15-inch guns, that's actually quite good. And we're already over where our tournament limit is. So, let's go ahead and design a dreadnought. I believe the most recent one we've gotten was the Alsace, which is a battlecruiser. Actually, before I forget, my goodness, 1916, we need some more minesweepers, and we need to, first and foremost, do a quick overhaul of our existing minesweepers and build a lot more. I'm gonna get, I think, 12 more. Yeah, just to make sure we're staying on top of the submarine threat, which I'm sure is looming, especially from France. 95. Okay, France and Italy both at 95 right now. 8 more building from France. They look like they're gonna succumb to the submarine juggernaut. Yeah, we have a little bit of money left. A little bit of money to spend. Not a whole lot. We do have one Alsace still under construction. So we have improved director, and these guys already are improved director? My goodness. Okay, so I forgot that we had already, 1919. I guess we did upgrade them. The Moltke. Yep. The other thing we want to check is, do they have increased elevation? They do. Are they also quality 1? Yeah, they are. And the Alsace, what do you offer? You offer non-quality 1. Because I don't have quality 1, darn it. And you offer not... Okay, so we do need improved director, which this is really getting low on ammunition. For 14-inch guns, which do have only the second slowest rate of fire, 15 to 18-inch guns all have the slowest rate of fire. They all share it, which means that, yes, DPS from 18 inches is much greater than 15-inch guns. Yeah, so for 14-inch guns, you really would not want this low of ammunition. But I don't see a way around it, unfortunately. I mean, I actually do not see a way around it other than replacing the engines with oil. I'm not even sure we have access to fuel yet. So we're just going to wait on this one. Director, improved director, the difference between the two is not huge. Going from central firing to director is a huge jump. I still don't understand why these aren't exactly sorting by class. But that's okay. The Worth class, what are you guys? Central firing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to mess with these guys either. These are just foreign stations. So we'll get them over to the foreign stations. Southeast Asia. We'll get them to stage at Southeast Asia and figure out where I want to put them from there. So they've got some kind of 1919 overhaul, which is basically just to keep them from being obsolete. But it didn't do anything because they're still using -1, quality -1 11-inch guns. They're still using, what is it, central firing? Yeah. But that might still be okay for situations in Asia, unless we're fighting Japan, which we don't intend to. I don't think Japan would net us enough, especially because the next war might be the last one. What am I looking to do? I think Britain is really, truly the best target next. The problem is that they will immediately blockade us. Oh boy, are they ever going to? My goodness. Maybe Britain isn't a good choice. In which case, maybe Japan is. Japan will give us, at most, 2 colonies. That does not seem like a very good exchange. Actually, frankly, I think we'd be best to go after Russia. Man, actually, frankly, France again. We already have 1 colony in the Indian Ocean, so it's not like gaining 2 more if we can get these other ones, Madagascar and Mozambique. This is Tanganyika. Yeah, so we already have to have foreign stations there. Maybe it's not that bad if we take over those colonies instead. Okay, so the Gefions, what did they have going for them? Central firing, but they've been refit in 1916. Well, 1916 is still, it's only been 5 years. I think those are going to be okay. The Medusas also have been refit, 1918, so not too bad. Once we get quality 1 6-inch guns, do we have them? No. That'll be probably a cause for upgrading. Someone was mentioning that maybe I should build some more light cruisers. I do agree, but I think first and foremost we need some kind of updated dreadnought, because the dreadnoughts we have are dreadful. Excuse the pun. Well, F centerline superimposed, as always. 3223 is a very common configuration that I'm pretty happy with. 21 knots, we'll take it down to 20. I think we will take the torpedo protection defense 3 because it is quite good. This is, I would say, excessively over-armored. Except for the turrets. The turrets, that's the one place where they'll get you. 6-inch guns on this, probably a lot of them. And I'm always a fan of the torpedoes. Get some more ammunition. We are actually 3,000 tons under, which is fantastic. I can maybe make this a cheaper one and build more of them. But I still kind of feel pretty confident with it. Now, this is only 10 15-inch guns. One obvious thing to do is just increase the number of guns. Well, I think that settles it up very nicely. We're going to have 12. Oh, God, I did the wrong thing. Wow. So 594. Huh. It takes less weight to have a 4 and a 2 than it does to have a 3 and a 3. I'm sure I've discovered that before. I'm like nearly positive I did that analysis, but that does seem surprising to me. You would think that 2 triples, especially just, I don't know, it just seems for like every reason that 2 triples. I mean, first of all, you have the same system being installed twice, so maybe you can have more redundancy on the loaders or whatever. I mean, the setup, something. I don't know, but something. Probably could go to 21 knots. It looks like we can. Or instead of 21 knots, we can get maybe 11 inches of belt. I'm pretty happy with the armor everywhere else. Maybe, yep, that solves it pretty nicely. Okay, so this is a nice one. This will be the Hanover class. And she's all okay. The double turrets is kind of crazy. Oh, I do hate that we're doing one single turret on both sides, because it's obviously, this is 8 and this is 8, and that would be 16. So each side has one extra gun, or we can think of it maybe as one double turret, which is in the middle. Yeah, I'll think of it that way to preserve my sanity. All right, so we'll build this thing, even though we don't have the money to do it really. We'll get 3 of them. It's a bit expensive, but in 3 months we're gonna have this, which is gonna save us 4 million. We'll make it work somehow. I don't know exactly how. Oh man, not France again. Well, no, actually France was the best target, it seems. Although, yeah, we need the best technology. I don't know why I was about to select the first one. We are going to want some more double mounts on the DDs I don't really care about. We are going to want some more minesweepers. If we go to war with France, we're just going to want some more because they have so many submarines. Okay, we got the battle cruiser. Looks like the minesweepers are coming back. I was literally holding enter down, as you probably saw. Okay, good. So we're at 6 million. That's going to only last 3 more months. We can probably solve this by sending some of the ships to reserves. Who should go to reserves, though? Honestly, my dreadnought fleet. And that only helps by 1 million, but that's something. By all means, give us the money. I don't think we're going to make it that far. We need tensions to actually rise a bit to give us more money. Okay, superimpose B mounts on CLs. Minus 4 million. We can handle that. I think we'll be okay. Yes. We don't really have a bone to pick with Russia. Like, okay, we could take back that one colony they took from us, but we're in such a better place than them anyway. It doesn't matter. Yes. We'll take all the technologies, as always. Submarines are looking pretty good at this point. They are very viable. You can just win an entire war on submarines, which is why we're building minesweepers. Alright, Cordelia has 6 6-inch guns, means a 5 6-inch broadside, weak turret armor, weak everything armor. So, not much of a threat. 3 more months, maybe? Looks like we're going to have to put one on hold. Okay, better torpedo technology. We could also do some other tricks. For example, we could decrease... maybe there's other ships that can go to reserve, like the Medusas? They don't cost a lot of maintenance right now anyway. It would be like 50 times 9. So basically it would be 500,000. So 2.4 is what we're expecting. Yeah, it was even more than that. Okay, maybe it is worth it. It's gonna allow, oh, yeah, 2-inch guns. Woo! Alright, we're gonna pause one of them. Technology sharing agreement with the company in Japan. I actually like the tensions more than anything else, but okay, let's do it. Tensions down with Japan. So we're basically committing to not going to war with Japan. Oh, tensions between our ally Great Britain and USA are rising. Great Britain is asking for our support. What should our reaction be? Oh my goodness, we could go to war with... This is crazy. Prestige plus. I mean, if we go to war and we're with Great Britain, I think we have a chance. Although I really don't want to go to war with them, but... Yeah. So we could try to go to war with the United States. That would be really tough. Quadruple torpedo tubes. Mostly good for destroyers. Can be good for surface ships as well. Just mind you that torpedo mounts, doesn't matter if it's a torpedo mount with 1 torpedo tube or 4. They have the same cost, the same weight per torpedo. I don't know about like financial cost, but tonnage cost, which is the thing I think is most important to consider for the efficiency of the ship. 1 torpedo tube mount costs exactly 1/4 what a 4 or quadruple torpedo mount does. Counterintelligence, oh man, Japan. Why are you guys doing this? Okay, I think we'll unpause that other one now. Since we're well out of, we're in the clear basically. Okay. I didn't even really look at that light cruiser. I was trying to figure out what to do next. Might actually be an enemy, but we'll take the money. That one, I don't even remember. Okay. Seems to be... Oh, okay. We're helping them with ship designs. Well, I don't think it matters much. Okay, security arrangement. Okay, this is interesting. Yep, let's do it. Who's it going to be? Triple bottom. It's done. Very good. Yeah, we actually do need more dreadnoughts, though. I think that we're going to just push our luck and build another Hanover for... I think it's okay. We'll do it. So... Yes, we need this technology. Quite good. We're doing quite well. Wow. The new Liberal government wants to reduce arms expenditures. It's probably happened a lot in a lot of different places, probably in Germany as well, but I was reading Dreadnought, and I know that this happened, where the government system, the political stuff going on in Great Britain in the late 1800s, early 1900s is very interesting. Or I guess it's interesting even through World War II, how the different parties interact and the whole political situation. I mean, not even situation, but the political system itself. So I think we're going to go ahead and say this will doom our nation. Which, okay, Italy seems to be most upset about that. Okay, that's kind of an important one for light cruisers. Our light cruisers can now be... Oh, yes. France is, I think, still our #1 target, potentially. Speaking of... Oh, this is... War. Damn it, I can't do this one because... We have 4 new ships under construction, which we can compare with everyone else. Yeah, we would be damaged absolutely the most from this. 4, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, and 5, 4. So the USA would be damaged slightly more than us, but proportionally, probably we're still going to take it the worst. So, okay. France. France again. Yep. Alright, so let's test the new simulator. Or maybe not. Maybe we won't get a chance to. And I don't think we're going to end this series on this episode. We'll probably have one more to be released after the stream on Saturday, but before Tuesday, which, by the way, Rule of Waves 2 stream on Tuesday in the afternoon. Probably around the same time as the stream on Saturday. So I'm targeting like 2:30 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. That's around 6 p.m. Eastern, around 10 p.m. GMT. Rule the Waves 2 streaming. So I will, the demo will actually be available for anybody who's interested in it. You can actually, they're going to have the demo released a couple days ahead of time. And I'll only be getting my press copy at the same time that you are able to already use the demo. So in some ways I won't know, unfortunately, I won't know any more about the game than you already do. Or, we'll be, I guess you can think of it in a positive way by saying we'll be both starting on the same page. But I really do prefer, I did mention this, but it just didn't work out that it was possible to do this, that I prefer to get the review copy as far ahead of time as possible, so that I wanted to do, believe it or not, a full campaign on my own before. I'm just not going to know any of the mechanics, and we're just going to have to go through it blind. I'm not going to be able to teach you. I dislike all of that, but, it's not my decision when these things are released or how they happen, so. Doesn't look like we're going to get any love here. Okay, convoy attack, finally. And it's with 2 light cruisers, probably not the best situation. One thing we're going to notice, or hopefully we'll notice, and one of the things I'd like to view from this, okay, game 4. So the retreat parameters are pretty low now, which means that we should actually find some. So this log.txt, we are actually going to update it right now. Whoop. Updated. My God, it shows how late I'm playing. 1:30 in the morning. So these are the settings used. This is also a new edition. It shows what this is. And this shows what the French were using. We way outnumber them. So they decide to fight. What kind of offense do they have? 121. We have 2,800. And they actually have a very solid defensive cruiser. All the combat values were updated. So let's see. We immediately smashed, it looks like, their destroyers. Look at this, a lot more action right away. Our light cruisers, are just firing? Oh, they're 8-inch guns. They have way more range. So now they are firing at us, but it looks like because we are still firing at destroyers, we are easily hitting them. However, they are not able to penetrate essentially the armor of our light cruisers. And now they're fleeing. Let's see, can we get any hits in while we're fleeing? No. Okay, that's it. So we should see that they lost all 4 of their destroyers before they retreated. And then their light cruiser made it away with 84% health. So, it seems like a pretty realistic result. We'll have to reevaluate the simulator entirely because some of the combat parameters were tweaked. Am I just saying that, though? Is that really a good result? 2 light cruisers versus 1 light cruiser and 4 destroyers? Yeah, I kind of think that you would actually just be able to sink all 4 of the destroyers and probably the light cruiser would get away. This seems... Oh, it was only 2 of them? Okay, let me check this log. Let me go back and check this log. Am I crazy? Interesting. They have the same name. Okay, I'm actually going to copy and paste this. I'm going to copy and paste the entire Game 4 folder so I can take a look at this. This either was a bug with my simulator, or it might be just a possibility in the game that you can get the same name twice. Oh, and you know what I can do because... Oh, well, it's already in Game 4. So there is a backup version that's generated. So this is 137. Yeah, it was like 2 minutes ago. So this is the important thing as well. I can look at the backup versus... what happened. So I can look at the before and the after. So we'll be able to find out what happened. If it's in the backup, this bug with both of them being the same, I know that it was generated by the game. But if it's not, If it's, well, then it's my simulator that's doing something wrong. So that'll be fun to see. Oh my god, they sunk the Brandenburg. Well, that's not good. This does not look good at all. A fleet battle. Okay, this will be exciting because it's a fleet battle with... let's remember, we can choose, we can dictate ourselves the terms of engagement. And by that, I mean we can determine the settings. Do we want them to maybe retreat a little bit less? So fleet of smallers, I think this should be set to half. If they're twice bigger than you, then run away. Fleet health down to 60%. I don't mind maybe setting this a little bit lower to 55. And we'll set the individual division down to 60%, which means that you can lose one ship out of 3 and not retreat. That still seems fine, actually. So let me put fleet limit down to 55 and then do division down to 50 and 55. We'll just experiment. We'll eventually get to the right value, but actually people can choose the simulator to be as aggressive as they want now, which is quite nice. Loaded RTW battle, that's nice. I like that. Okay, so we don't know what happened. We can check the log right here though. So it was 4 battle cruisers with oh, by the way, I have tweaked the combat values. Higher defense across the board, which is supposed to just make things survive a little bit longer now that they retreat slower. Sometimes, but I'm not going to look at all this. Let's just take a look at the end result. Wow, we had 20 out of 23. So we actually sank a battle cruiser, a light cruiser, and all their 11 destroyers. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Oak Tree has been constantly telling me that the simulator is a destroyer eater, and that's mainly because of the behavior when the retreating happens by the... So usually they're escorts, so this is showing the French destroyers as escorts. And the escorts have a duty to do a torpedo attack to save the capital ships once the capital ships start retreating. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Okay, they're still not retreating yet. I don't know what happened here. Seems like a long battle. And German forces definitely took a hit. Man, this is really going slow. Okay, so one of the minesweepers was destroyed. Otherwise, the other minesweepers... What are the minesweeper combat values? By the way, it's kind of be interesting to see. 200 tons, offensive 12. They have, I think, 1 3-inch gun, so the defense, they actually have armor, so their armor, nicely enough, actually has higher defense than the destroyers. So at some point, we must have triggered their retreat. Yeah, here it is. And this is where you expect... Oh, wow, their battlecruiser is sunk left. So that's the one that took a lot of damage. Yeah, now they're going to close to cover the fleet's withdrawal. That's really where you get into trouble. That's really where it starts happening. So, okay, anyways, that's that battle. And I think we'll just do one more battle. Oh yeah, we're going to get a lot of these sinkings. So 3 destroyers, 1 minesweeper. They lost their battle cruiser, light cruiser, 11 destroyers. Yep. A little bit brutal on the destroyers. I do admit it. I don't know how I can change that. It seems actually really sensible as well that you would send all your destroyers in, and that's actually something I do in my battles. Hell, I think it's actually fine. I think the simulator is working fine because in a lot of my battles, I do lose a lot of my destroyers and light cruisers. So it seems like it's working. Okay. Double gun mounts on CLs. I don't know how you would get double gun mounts on light cruisers after double gun mounts on destroyers. Like, wouldn't it make sense that they were at least at the same time? How could you not know how to do light cruisers double gun mounts on a bigger ship, but know how to do them on a smaller one. It really does not make any sense to me. Okay, I'm gonna get some declines. Just push forward to one more. Hooray! Kind of would want to fight this with the Mocha. 8 14-inch guns. Quality 1. Oh, that's fantastic. She's got pretty good armor, too. Well, let's see what she's up against before we, decide whether or not I want to fight it myself. Although I really do want the simulator I really do want to see what's going on with the simulator. I imagine this first one's... Oh, it's a battle cruiser right away. Alright, I really want to fight it, but this is the simulator game. This is the simulator series, so let's simulate. It was one battle cruiser against just exactly one battle cruiser. Even Steven, in fact, this is interesting. 27, 28, let's call it, versus 38. 9,000 versus 8,000. Very evenly matched. The only difference here being the destroyers, but they are not going to participate. So this is basically the luck of the draw. Okay, so our higher armor saved us in the first round. What? Oh my gosh! In our world, the view distance was 10,000, which just extremely heavily favors us with destroyers. That's probably going to result... Oh, but they have so much armor to penetrate. So the battle... Oh, it looks like it swung against us. Yeah. How much combat value does our... Only 299. That's really nothing. These are not very good destroyers, it turns out. The Dunkirk's down to 62. They're just duking it out. So it's really a question of who flees first. I guess they're going to flee first. Okay. Wow. Oh. Oh. It actually targeted... Huh. They actually targeted our destroyer. And the battle's over. Okay, so we lost a destroyer, but they took more damage. Very interesting. I think that's a realistic result. Even though it doesn't favor me, I would consider that. I think the battle may go my way because of the damage done, but losing a destroyer, in my opinion, makes it worse because it's the worst strategic answer. Yeah, so it's considered a major victory for us, but I don't view it that way. Because they're going to have their ship back out in a couple months, and my destroyer will still be sunk. Okay, well... It's going to wrap this episode up. So, that's the new simulator. I hope it... I think it's tweaked to a point where it's pretty good. The next thing I plan to add is... I need to add basically combat stuff to increase the complexity of the combat simulation stuff. If I want to do anything, I should say, that's what I would do. Because I feel like it's in a really good place right now, the simulator. It's very effective. Now with this added functionality of having this any settings file, you can I can add more parameters. Basically, I'm completely open to suggestions to add more things here. I've already set up the simulator framework to easily support any number of settings here. They'll be parsed and it all takes care of itself. It'll be very quick, very easy. For example, my simulator handles both spaces between and no spaces between the equal signs. It does look for an equal sign. This is the definition, assignment, I should say, character. But it also knows that this means comment. So if I was to comment this out, it would just automatically take its default value, which I think for flee than if smaller than is like 0.6, but I don't remember. Anyway, it's whatever values I was using first, because I just kept those as defaults. But I'm going to wrap this up, so thanks for watching, and until the next episode, well, hopefully I'll see you for the stream, but until the next episode, take care.